This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
We're trying to get one sign in everybody's yard, on every street, on every block, highways. We need it everywhere.
Tonight, a new push by the Urban League to make St. Louis area streets a little safer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. 7 months ago, the Urban League's Slow Down campaign shifted into high gear in the city and county. New tonight, Robert Townsend catches up with the group to see if it's making an impact.
It's another day for Brandon Rash and his team with the Metropolitan Urban League of St. Louis to pound the pavement, knock on homeowners' doors, and ask if they may put a sign in their front yards.
We're trying to get one sign in everybody's yard, on every street, highways. We need it everywhere.
Not just any sign, but one with an important message.
Slow down St. Louis. Our main goal is just trying to get everybody aware that we do have a speeding problem in St. Louis.
In March, the Urban League kicked off its Slow Down public awareness campaign. 5 days a week, the organization's urban engagement specialists walk through neighborhoods in St. Louis City and County and post these yard signs in hopes of putting the brakes on what they call vehicular violence.
It is extremely bad.
In addition to slowing down fast drivers, they want those drivers to obey the law.
Take the precautions in caring about another person's life.
St. Louis police tell 5 on your side in the last 60 days they issued 600 speeding tickets and 451 violating traffic signals tickets. Since the slowdown program took off, the Urban League team estimates it's put more than 5,000 of these signs in yards in St. Louis City and County. Dr. Candace Carter Oliver is the Chief Executive Officer for Confluence Academies. The district partnered with the Urban League to get the signs outside 3 of its charter schools.
We want our kids to be safe. We want them to be able to get off the buses safe, get in school safe.
Back in South City,
That's awesome.
neighbor Daniel Simon drove down Chippewa, saw the slow down signs, and had to get one for his yard.
I love it. I love it. Anything to make our neighborhood safer.
If we can get a hold in St. Louis, other major cities will see that this campaign is effective.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And the Urban League says it can always use volunteers to help with its Slow Down campaign. For more information, just go to KSDK.com. Look for the story under the As Seen on TV section. Hours ago, a memorial balloon release was held for fallen St. Louis officer David Lee. Most of the balloons were red in honor of his favorite color. Officer Lee was responding to a crash on Interstate 70 last month when he was hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver. We talked tonight with his widow, who said she forgives the man who killed her husband.
We don't hold any malice in our hearts or souls or anything like that, because I want to see my husband again, okay? So we just want to celebrate him and make sure that, you know what I'm saying, he feels the love.
Governor Mike Parson ordered U.S. and Missouri flags to be flown at half-staff tomorrow at government buildings in St. Louis City, County, and all police stations across the state in honor of Officer Lee. Services for Officer Lee are tomorrow at Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church on Martin Luther King Drive. Visitation is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the funeral. St. Louis Police is asking the community to come out and honor Officer Lee. They want people to line up along MLK Drive from Union to Belt for his procession from the funeral home to the church at around 8 a.m. and then from the church to the funeral home at around 3. And 5 on your side will be streaming tomorrow's funeral on KSDK.com and the 5+ app. Coverage starts at 1. Tonight, Illinois State Police are investigating a deadly shooting involving a St. Clair County deputy. It happened around 7:45 last night at a home on Schmidt Lane near Belleville. Deputies were responding to a domestic disturbance when 69-year-old Charles Sanders fired his gun multiple times. As he confronted the deputies, one shot and killed him. No one else was injured. The officer involved is on paid leave during the investigation. And police are investigating after an Uber driver was shot in North St. Louis County. It happened on St. Cyr Road in Riverview this afternoon. Police say the driver was shot in the arm during an attempted carjacking. She was grazed in the arm and is expected to be okay. Police have not released any details about the suspect. An event to remember a fallen first responder is encouraging women tonight to become first responders too. Dolores Boschert, known as Dolo, was loved by ones and was a paramedic. She died in a weightlifting accident at a St. Charles gym in 2022, but her memory lives on through Ignite STL. It's an event designed to encourage other women to do what Dolo always wanted to do.
And find people who you can connect with in that career. Like, that's what's going to keep somebody in the field. And we need females, like female first responders. They just think about things differently, they approach things differently. And so if we can help build a network of strong women who are supporting each other, they're going to be more likely to stay in the field and then hopefully bring more females into it.
The event continues tomorrow at Webster Park in St. Charles. It will include speaker panels and a hero send-off to Dolo. Helene continues to impact parts of the southeast. The storm is now responsible for at least 220 deaths across 6 states. Some towns like Asheville, North Carolina, don't have access to clean running water, and it could take weeks. And in Tennessee, there's an ongoing search for 6 employees of a plastics factory swept away by severe flooding. But some hope is coming. Teams from across the U.S., including Missouri Task Force 1, continue rescue operations in some of the hardest hit areas. Even some celebrities are chipping in.
I really think that this is a time for me to step up again, for all of us to step up and do what we can. Just from my own bank account, I'm donating $1 million today, but there's a lot to be done, and we're trying to find other ways to even raise more funds.
And Dolly Parton is also donating another $1 million through her businesses. That will go to the Mountain Ways Foundation to promote immediate help to those impacted by major flooding in Tennessee. Rescuers are still searching for survivors more than a week after Hurricane Helene ravaged parts of the southeast. Verify's Brandon Lewis looks into whether some photos are circulating online are real.
You may have seen viral posts on social media like these claiming to show little girls who survived Hurricane Helene carrying puppies in what appear to be rescue boats. Verify viewers reached out to ask if those images are real. Using these sources, we can verify they are not. They were created with generative AI. Using TinEye, a reverse image search tool, we looked for other instances of these images being published online and found no reputable news outlets, humanitarian agencies, or rescue teams publishing these images. The posts sharing the images also lack details like who was involved and when and where it happened. And while AI images are getting better, there are some subtle things in the images that indicate they're AI. In one image, between the puppy's head and the girl's hair, there's a white space, with the background missing. In the other, the girl appears to be missing one of her ears and 2 of her fingernails, and both have facial expressions that are extreme and cartoonish. So, no, these photos claiming to show girls and puppies being rescued after Hurricane Helene are not real. They were made with AI. Images like these are often shared with the intent to pull at heartstrings. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency says disinformation campaigns like this seek to elicit an emotional reaction that overpowers critical thinking. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Something you would like for us to verify, send a message to verify@ksdk.com. The bar scene is changing in downtown St. Louis, the major announcement by the owners of 3 popular venues.
And we've been watching the Gulf of Mexico. Now in the next 7 days, there's a 70% chance of our next named storm. More on that, plus a hot Saturday coming up.
Well, big changes tonight are coming to 3 popular downtown bars. Hours ago, the owner of Wheelhouse Start Bar and the Midwestern posted an update on social media. They say Wheelhouse will be open Thursdays through Sundays starting October 17th. Midwestern expanding its hours to include a weekend brunch and will stay open late for major downtown events. But unfortunately, Start Bar will close its doors on October 14th. The owner hopes they want to focus on just the 2 venues, and they hope that that will help their businesses, the other 2, thrive. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo. We'll get to our weekend forecast in a minute, but you want to talk about something that is brewing in the Gulf.
Yes, you know, we don't really like to see this. We knew that there was a chance, 30 to 40% chance, and now it's a 70% chance of this low that's in the southwestern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. It's called Invest 92L, and they're investigating. The hurricane hunters are investigating that area. Low pressure now with 30-mile-per-hour winds. And watch the futurecast. I'll show you that in just a second. But out in the Atlantic and staying away from any land masses here, a big hurricane Kirk, 130-mile-per-hour winds, and then Leslie, now a hurricane with 75-mile-per-hour winds. Both of these staying away from the land. But just checking out again, Invest 92L. Look at this spin in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's Louisiana. And here is Florida. It does look like later next week we'll be watching this move toward Florida. And even if it doesn't form into the next named storm, which would be Milton, this will be a problem with flooding issues for Florida and parts of the southeast possible. So we'll see where that tracks. All right, we'll be talking about that all next week. There's the arch, and then down Market Street, a beautiful shot there. Union Station, there's the arch, 71. It's a warm night. It's going to be a hot day tomorrow. So temperatures, you know, that humidity level stayed pretty low today. It's 61% now. We always get a little higher humidity at night. And last night we had storms in Iowa that moved down into Greene County, Macoupin County, Montgomery County in Illinois, Fayette County. But it weakened, and that was our only chance of rain for a while now. Couple clouds in the futurecast for late tonight into tomorrow morning north of St. Louis. Otherwise, it's sunshine. And those overnight lows tonight will be in the 50s and low 60s. So a little bit warmer than it has been. And here's tomorrow, a little breezy south wind, gust to 20. But you know that high temperature for tomorrow? 89 degrees. Yeah, breezy out there. That'll help. And then we've got 82. So if your pool's still open, I know a couple of people that have a couple of pools.
They're holding out.
Yeah, they're holding out for a little bit, but 82 Sunday, and then we do cool off a little bit Monday and Tuesday, which is fantastic, but we go right back up to the low 80s next Thursday and Friday, and it's all sunshine.
Almost 90 tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's Corey Miller and Annie Kroll with 5 on your sideline.